The Zoning Board of Appeals is the permit-granting authority for projects that do not meet the requirements of the city's zoning bylaws. The board's function is to approve or deny requests for variances and special permits. They issue findings through the public hearing process. Appointed by the mayor, the Zoning Board of Appeals is made up of 3 full board members and 4 associate members. The following Zoning Board of Appeals meetings coverage is brought to you by the Government Channel, a service of the City of Framingham.
Almost nobody out there. This is Steve Meltzer. This is the City of Framingham Zoning Board of Appeals, our regularly scheduled meeting for tonight, June 10th, 2026, in the Bloomer Community Room. We are holding this meeting in a hybrid fashion, which means we are conducting an in-person hearing, which is also available for participation by Zoom. We have 4 board members who are attending in person and 2 are attending by Zoom. They would like their influence to be remote, evidently, but we shall see. So if you're going to participate either by Zoom or in person, by Zoom, wait until you're called upon. Understand that everything you say and do will be recorded as a part of the public hearing and saved forever. If you turn on your video, that means your likeness will also be recorded. If you're going to participate here in person, then what I'd ask you to do is, when recognized, come to a mic, make sure the mic is turned on and live. You can either sit down at those seats over there and press the button so that the ring around the mic is green. That one is usually kept on at the podium. So with that, we're going to jump right into the minutes from May 13, 2026, our open session. Is there a motion to accept those minutes as drafted? Any member?
Motion to accept.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, it is unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Next matter is the first continued hearing on the agenda, which is 7 p.m. 2526, 729 to 733 Waverly Street. I believe Mr. Galvani is joining us remotely for the discussion of that. Just my update is that we got a copy of the draft, or I assume it's a draft development agreement, revised as of 6/8/26, between the developer and the City of Framingham. Last time we were here, we discussed the project, and I think that we were, to filter it down, there was some discussion and disagreement with respect to the parking ratio, the number of parking spaces that would be provided. But I don't know, Mr. Galvani, do you want to give us a quick update? And I see that Mr. Sarkeesian has also joined us. I don't know if he wants to give us some information as well. So, Paul, why don't you go ahead first?
Oh, all right. Thank you. For the record, Paul Galvani, Trinity in Framingham. I represent the owner applicant. And as you've recited, the board, of course, and as did Mr. Sarkeesian, want this reviewed by the city solicitor. I received the proposed revisions a couple days ago. They're primarily in paragraph 4 and relate to the issue of all the units being owner occupied. The language is a little different than, more stringent, I guess I'd say, than what I had proposed, but I did review it with Bill Villa, and it is acceptable on this end. So that's So at this point, we are okay with the revised document.
Okay.
In terms of the, I'm doing this on my phone, so hopefully this is coming through. I'm quite a distance away, and we did submit a revised site plan, and that plan shows now 58 parking spaces. The unit count is still 46, and that amounts to 1.25, a little over 1.25 spaces per unit.
Okay. So, Mr. Galvani, we made Ms. Johnson disclose when she was in Barbados. Are you as far as Barbados?
I am further than Barbados, but in the opposite direction. So I'm on a small ship sailing in the Pacific Ocean along the coast of Alaska.
Holy moly.
Oh,
I think this is a first for this meeting, but that's fantastic. Okay.
So, yeah, quite, scenery is magnificent. You have to see it to believe it.
And
But
yet
anyway.
we have the pleasure of looking at you.
Yes, yes, yeah. You're getting the short end of this deal.
Clearly. Sarki, you have anything to add?
Yes, the developers agreement that you have, obviously, if there are comments made by the board, we can incorporate them, but there are two matters, as you one of them you already mentioned. We didn't put the parking requirement in there, so there are no guardrails in the developers agreement regarding parking. And then the other issue is that it probably should be removed, and that is the number of units. We have that in the developers agreement, and maybe we should just be silent on that. But, the pleasure of the board. Those are my comments, and again, it has been reviewed by the city solicitor. So thank you.
Okay, which paragraph has the number of units? Do you remember?
It's just in the whereas provision. So, I mean, it's reciting it in the context of the developer has proposed
Yeah.
46 units. So, I mean, which is obviously what's on the application. So,
Right.
um,
Well, I mean,
I don't think-
our approval will be of the plan, the development will have to be in accordance with the plan, which has 46. So if there's a change to that, you'd have to come back
Right.
anyway, so.
I would assume that if the number is less, we would not have to come back.
Well,
Would I be
depends-
correct?
Well, it depends upon what other changes, if you,
Right, yeah.
probably not. Probably wouldn't be considered a change worthy of,
do we need a clause stating that
we could have a clause stating that.
about modifications, what constitutes major versus minor?
I
mean,
wouldn't
I'm
go,
sure
I
that
wouldn't go too far, but I would say that if we are all comfortable with them reducing the size, we can say that a reduction won't constitute a major modification and can be approved administratively.
administratively, yeah.
Could you do like a not to exceed?
Well, I mean, if, it would be not to exceed what they've proposed.
Yeah.
And then if they go smaller than that, then they don't have to come back before the
Come back,
board.
Yeah, okay.
I think
We don't
should-
have to do that, but we can do that.
I think we should
What's,
include the guardrail.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I mean, you can do what triggers ADA access laws on existing conditions, which I believe is 30% of construction costs of the value of the building.
Well, is that, I didn't quite get your lap. Is that a question or you
No,
making a
I mean, that's a
comment?
recommendation.
A recommendation with regard to the development agreement or conditions?
Development agreement, I mean, we're kind of worried about, how, if they alter the thing in the future, we can follow the building code where it says if you modify 30% of the structure, then it floats into ADA access rules for existing buildings that don't have ADA access. I don't even want to do something similar to that.
Why wouldn't we make that a condition rather than, again, we can make a
Well,
suggestion.
you could.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think-
that's,
Yeah, I think whatever we want to do, and definitely want to do, we'll be better off making a condition rather than suggesting that it become part of the development agreement, and then they negotiate it out.
Sure, yeah.
I agree.
So, wait, I'm going to get the actual number. You said it was just over 1.25,
Correct.
so,
No, don't get me wrong, I'm not proposing, less. I hope we're gonna, be able to get
Yeah.
46 units here, but I'm just, obviously in any process here, there can be some modifications made. Again, as you're well aware, I mean, you're proving the basic use, but the planning board has, jurisdiction over pretty much all aspects of this project,
yeah.
so.
So it's actually 1.26, just so you know, 1.261, in fact, so.
Can we have Mr. Sarkeesian maybe explain the rationale for why he's not recommending having the guardrails set for the parking and just to keep that out of the development agreement? Is it just to give the planning board more flexibility?
Exactly, that's correct, Christina. Give us flexibility with the design and, maybe, the project gets reduced somehow, but to give us more flexibility. And that 1.25 is kind of a sweet spot. If you remember when we were, dealing with Bancroft and going back and forth with parking, we did an analysis of different projects within Framingham, and that sort of is really the minimum, based on, our survey and what we've done in the past.
Thank you for bringing up memories of that project.
It's actually coming back again.
Good grief.
Lap, how are you feeling about parking today?
I mean, I would like it to be more, as I said last, but I've been thinking about this during the month, and I don't want to be in the way of the good in search of the perfect. So I'm
Well, and
I'm
so,
reluctantly okay with the ratio.
how do you feel about tying the planning board's hands with respect to, rather than, I mean, what they're asking, if I'm hearing them correctly, is for us to let the planning board decide.
I would recommend we put a minimum of 1.261, and then they can decide whatever they want. But a minimum of 1.261, or whatever the ratio is.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. And if they can't get that, they can come back. If there's some major reason, they can come back to us, but I kind of agree,
Kinda? Kinda, sorta?
kind of, sort of. And so I do have an issue with the development agreement generally. No, not generally, specifically, I would have to say. We can't just, I would say that we can incorporate the provisions that are stated in the development agreement as conditions, but paragraph 7 of the development agreement gives the mayor the option to renegotiate it. And I'm not willing to renegotiate our approval and or giving the mayor, whoever that mayor may be at whatever time that may be, the power to renegotiate what our conditions are if we are in fact incorporating the conditions that are written in here. Does that make sense? You follow what I'm saying?
Yes. Well, actually, I think that might make it harder for the developer, actually. If they have to go back and renegotiate a development agreement.
Well, I mean, it gives the power to the mayor to renegotiate the agreement. So if we
But then they
say,
have to come back to us because it doesn't absolve them from complying with the other provisions and the other clauses about conditions or whatnot.
well, I guess
So
what
to
I'm.
me, that initiates a new process, to be honest with you.
I guess what I'm saying is if we adopt the conditions contained in the development agreement, that's different than adopting the development agreement in its entirety. Because if we adopt the development agreement in its entirety, we are giving the mayor the right to change those conditions.
should we go through this and figure out which conditions belong in our decision, so that way that's
Well-
binding?
We can adopt all but 7, as far as I'm concerned. But if you'd like to go through them individually, we can.
Or just change the wording of 7 so that the mayor negotiates something differently.
Well, we can't change the wording of an agreement that's being negotiated outside of us.
I think
Or,
we just have to make sure our decision is airtight, so that way, if this does go back for renegotiation, and it's not, we're not suggesting that we don't trust the mayor and the administration, that's not what we're saying, but,
well, I am saying that.
oh,
I guess I am saying that, right? I mean, I trust the mayor, but that doesn't mean that they won't do something that is different than what we would do. And 3 years from now, it might be a different mayor. And they may still be in the process of getting this thing going. So I don't know, I don't trust who the mayor may be.
Well, Mr. Chairman, if I could interject, I mean, maybe delete the second clause in that sentence as the same may be amended pursuant to.
but I think the I think I think the administration would want something to say on that, because I don't think we can amend the language as part of this process, as the chair is stating.
Can I interject a little bit?
Who-
I mean, I think
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Lab.
the two important things for us as a zoning board is the number of units and the number of parking.
Well, also that it's a for sale of an owner
Yeah.
project. I think that's, right? Number 4 here, number of parking, which isn't in here.
5, I think,
Um,
you can't use friendly 40B or 40B in general.
Yeah.
Well, I'm uncomfortable with 5, but if you want it, we can have it. I don't know that we can make a condition that says 5, but
Then why is that in the development agreement?
I think they can make that agreement between them, but we can't impose a condition like that. Just don't think we can, but if you want to, we can. I don't feel strongly about it. So how do we want to do this? What do we want to do, and how do we want to do it? What's your suggestion? I think that we're looking at some kind of approval here. Conditions, we don't have to incorporate the development agreement. We can just pick the stuff from the development agreement we like and make them conditions. And their development agreement is their development agreement, they're off to the races. But if there's a condition that we have in our approval that is also one of the development agreement conditions, and they change that later, they're gonna have to come back to us, even if the development agreement says differently.
Hey, Steve, does it say that in our, item number 7? I mean, it says between the owner and the mayor shall be incorporated the decisions of the zoning board of appeals and planning board is applicable.
No, I don't think it does say that.
That's not what it's saying.
I'm not even quite sure what that says,
Okay.
but I
I think there
think,
needs to be some punctuation. I think that's the problem. It's a run-on sentence.
so, let's take what we like from this development agreement and take what we think is important and make them conditions. And that would be 4, I guess 5, and then if we want a condition with respect to parking, add that as a condition, and then the condition you stated earlier.
Right.
And then proviso if we want one with respect to whether they need to come back, or if it's a minor change that can be done administratively if they reduce the number of units. So,
As I'm reading 5, I didn't read past 40B. It's also talking about the Dover Amendment projects. That I agree, we have no jurisdiction over.
but they can agree not to do it with
The mayor.
the executive of the town, of the city.
Okay.
But I don't think we can
You
have
can
it
add it as a condition.
as a condition. I think it would be an illegal condition.
Yep, okay.
That's how I think about it. So does somebody want to make a motion?
Looks like
Somebody's
we have
hand is up. Looks like.
Someone's hand is up.
John, you're up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I know you're thrashing through this, and I think you're making lots of good points in terms of what you can and cannot do. All I would say is the important thing is that the mayor does the MOU and that the developer agrees to enter into an MOU with the mayor. The terms, whether they are yours or not, as long as you have an understanding that the developer will enter into an MOU and the mayor is prepared to sign this MOU, it's been vetted with the solicitor and Sarkey, I think that's all that matters. So I don't think, and you can incorporate whichever provisions you want. As long as they're doing a development agreement, everything else is fine.
Okay,
Does that make sense? I don't know if that helps you or not, but I know Sarkey's got another meeting as well, and I wanted to share with you the conversations that Sarkey and I and the mayor had.
yeah, but I'm not sure I understand what you mean by everything else is fine. Who says? Everything else is fine for whom? What do you mean by
For the
that?
mayor. What I'm saying is that if a provision is not for you to accept or reject because you don't think it's in your purview, the mayor has the ability to enter into those pieces. So it doesn't really matter if he's entering into an agreement with the developer and the developer's entering into an agreement with them, then you don't need to have an opinion on it if you don't want to.
All right, if we don't want to, right. I agree. I mean, I think that's what I'm saying about number 5, is the mayor and the developer can make that agreement, and that agreement is still a binding agreement between them, whether we say so or not.
I'm sorry if I'm adding confusion. I was just trying to say I agree with you.
Okay, that's a better way to say it.
Sorry. I was trying to give you comfort, and I'm sorry if I created confusion.
That's okay. No, okay. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So is there anybody in the room who has any comments on this? Anybody else remotely? Okay, do we want to try and does somebody want to try and craft a motion? Do you want me to state a motion that you can make?
Do we all agree on the framework of what we're doing? Did we establish that?
I'm not sure. I mean, that's why I
Yeah,
tried to.
I'm still not sure what we discussed a lot of things. I'm not sure what we agreed to or disagreed.
I don't know that we have agreed yet.
Yeah.
That's why I asked the question.
So what do you want to do on parking? Do you want, I mean, there's
I wanna say-
a binary decision of whether we don't do anything or we have some requirement. And then if we decide we want to have some requirement, we have to decide what that requirement is.
Yeah, I think that we should make them agree to a minimum of 1.25.
Yeah.
And if they want to make it better, they're more than welcome to.
Okay. I
Agreed.
I agree with that. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I
okay.
concur.
So Christina's writing this stuff down.
Yeah.
And that's good. So the second one is that, paragraph, or the requirements stated in paragraph 4 of the development agreement, which is the owner voluntarily commits to use certain use transfer restrictions for the development. Owner agrees shall be developed as a condo, 183A, blah, blah, blah. So majority-owned units. So I'd say that I would like to incorporate 4 as a condition of our approval. What are your thoughts, Lap?
So you're saying that you want to make that as a hard condition for the ZBA's approval on this matter?
Yes.
That it has to be a condo unit?
It has to be yes.
Yes, because it would be in, the requirement would be memorialized in the master deed. And
Okay.
I think that's honoring, I think us accepting that as a condition honors the intent of
So.
the
if
mayor's
they-
agreement with the developer.
So if they convert it into rental units or co-op, they would have to come back to us.
Well, yes, I doubt they'd ever do a co-op, but yes.
I understand, but I'm using it for instance.
Yeah. I mean, a co-op is probably more likely to be approved than straight rental
Right.
units.
Sure,
Um,
but if they go to rentals, then that's a different matter.
Right.
I am for that. I'm okay with keeping, making that as a requirement for our approval, yes, to keep it as a condo unit.
Yeah, and I'd also say that we should incorporate as a condition number 3, which is that they have to
Oh, absolutely.
their
That's a biggie for me,
Inclusionary
yeah.
housing.
inclusionary housing, yes.
Yeah, that's a big, as well as moderate income does that incorporate moderate income requirements too?
Yes.
Okay.
And so those, the rest of the stuff looks kind of fluffy to me, so,
What are we doing about, so in terms of paragraph 7, are we,
we don't have to do anything if we just have these as conditions, and these are the conditions that we want.
could we just put another condition about minor
Oh.
modifications, just to close the
Yeah,
loop?
Well, I guess, first of all, Lap, can you state the,
Oh, he had one too.
yeah, that one that you had at the beginning about
Yeah.
ADA compliance?
The building code requires that if you modify 30% of the structure, it could be in terms of square footage or dollar value, you would have to make it all ADA accessible or upgrade it to being an ADA accessible building. That's why a lot of times the building owners will only do alterations to 20% of the building at a
Right.
time.
How is
to
that
avoid that
related to
big
the use?
Yeah, but let me just ask, so what are you saying the condition should be?
Well, if I'm saying that, we can frame it as, if they do 30, if they modify 30% and we can make it hazy what 30% is, whether it's square footage or dollar value, that they would have to come back to us for another look-see.
Wouldn't that go to the building department?
It would go to the building department, but what if they, well, and the building department can approve it without zoning requirements. If they make combined units and make it one gigantic luxury unit as opposed to having two smaller units.
I'm still
That would
confused
not
how
come
this
back to the
is.
ZBA, that, they can do
What do
that
you,
as of
go
right.
back for the ZBA for what, though, Lap? What would we do? What would
Well, I
we,
mean, we're worried about how if they modify the structure or modify the use of it in terms of 46 condos, are we worried about that? I would like to have, the same density that we're giving an approval on.
okay,
I think that-
so you don't want them to be able to reduce the number of units without coming back
Right.
to us?
And while I have not seen plans for it, I was told that these units are modest units, and the square footage is relatively modest. So if they make it smaller, I don't know if you want to worry about that, but I worry about the density.
That's the,
Okay, so let's worry about the density and stop talking about ADA compliance.
Okay.
I've heard about 3 different, so I think on the ADA issue, that is a building code issue.
Yeah.
That would be flagged in the building permit review.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about making it 8, they already, I'm sure that designing it. to be
Right, but I
8
don't think
compliant.
if they're triggering a certain threshold related
Yeah.
to building code, that they have to come back to us.
Yeah.
I think the threshold is the number of units.
Well, I don't know if it's the
Right.
number or the size of the units, I think you're
Number
more
or
concerned.
size?
Paul, what is the range of the size of these units?
I can't answer that off the top of my head, but we're getting into details now that, I mean, to put this into a ZBA decision, I mean, after the project's built, I mean, in terms of ADA or, I mean, building department issues, I mean, those are building code issues. We have to, obviously, the building code currently is quite strict. It's been recently revised, and we have to comply with it, and every building on there has to be compliant.
Okay, I'm moving away,
We do
Paul.
want some
Paul,
flexibility.
I'm moving away from that. That's why I'm asking you this question.
Right.
Right? So are you okay with this being restricted to 1 and 2 bedroom units, or studios 1 and 2 bedroom units?
Yeah, I don't see us going above 2-bedroom units, but the mix maybe could change. I mean,
Sure.
as I indicated previously, these are, I mean, basically, in terms of the buildings, these are conceptual plans,
Yeah.
and they may well be modified, so.
Right.
I think that's the planning board's job.
Well,
Yeah,
so,
and
Number-
I
On
just-
the number of bedrooms.
well, except that talks about density and size and affordability, and so I think that is a better way to think about this LAP. And if they're building if we don't have, say, anything, and LAP is worried they're gonna build 3 6-bedroom units here,
The
right?
planning board will
And
let
sell
them
it
do
for
it.
$20 million each.
Yeah,
Well, I
well,
don't know.
so if we have a condition that they're restricted to studios, 1 or 2-bedroom units, then that sort of keeps it into the small unit realm, which is what you're thinking about. Is that right, Lap? Does that help?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm a big proponent of moderate density multifamily housing to help alleviate the housing concerns, especially in Framingham.
Yeah.
And especially in that area too.
But I also would mention that, 40B does usually favor 3-bedroom units as well.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna bring up fair
So-
housing principles here. We have to be careful about restricting,
We can restrict the number of bedrooms. We definitely can.
okay.
I mean, I can even be okay with a couple 3 bedrooms.
Okay, so let's say that then each unit can't exceed 3 bedrooms. How's that as a
live with that.
condition? Yeah?
I can live with that.
All right. Does that satisfy you as far as that density stuff goes? And then it gives them some flexibility if
Yeah,
if
I
a
mean-
law turns out that a 3-bedroom
to
would be really
exceed.
well, not to exceed
I
3
mean,
I'm a
bedrooms.
little
3 bedrooms are
uncomfortable
great.
with this, but I'm gonna go with it.
I mean, I think 3 bedrooms are great because it promotes, families as
Yes.
opposed to just.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and,
How about the number of units, the
And-
size of the units?
well, I think that the number of bedrooms times the number of units is really gonna, so do we want to give them the flexibility to reduce the number of units without coming back to us for
Well,
a full board?
Well, could we state a condition that any reduction in the number of units just requires an administrative approval from the
Yes.
planning director?
Yeah, we could say that.
I mean, I would say goal, but I would say more, my hope is that this development promotes affordable housing and not just, the 10%. And again, my worry is that if you build, like Steve said, 6 mansions as opposed to 46 units that people can afford to live in. I don't want the mansions there. I would prefer to have the 46 units that people can live in.
Yeah, well, because of the inclusionary zoning, the inclusionary requirement,
Requirements, yeah.
housing requirement, it'll be, will be cost prohibitive for them to do that anyway, but I think that with our conditions, I think it fits the spirit of the program So the developer shouldn't have any issue with it. So we have these, how many, 4 conditions, 5?
So we have 5.
Okay, any other thoughts? Or are we
Sarkis
What are
Sarkis got his
can we
hand
just,
up.
just really quickly, for the variance in the FAR, front yard, side yard? No issues with that? Can we vote it all as one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other comments or thoughts before Christina makes a,
I think the
Motion?
planning director has his hand up.
oh, okay, go ahead, Sarkis.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just, our inclusionary zoning bylaw requires 13%
Right.
affordability.
Right.
And 11% have to be at 80% median income, and 2% have to be at 60% median income.
Yep,
Thank you.
that'll keep them from building mansions.
Or, you see like these big skyscrapers in Boston, they have what's called the poor man's door. All the moderate income housing have a separate entrance.
Okay, anything else? Do you want to make a motion, Christina?
All right, let's give this a go. If I can read my own hieroglyphics here. All right, I move I just lost it. Please hold. I'm a little out of practice with this.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I got it. All right. I move to approve the following variances for 733 Waverly Street to allow for the construction of 4 multifamily dwellings in the M zoning district. Variance for use, FAR, front yard setback, and side yard setback, subject to the following conditions. That the minimum parking ratio shall be 1.25. Is that what we agreed? Okay. That that we accept the following paragraph in the development agreement as revised 6/8/26. Paragraph 4 regarding the majority-owned unit and the master deed requirements. Paragraph 3 regarding the inclusionary housing requirements. And the number of bedrooms within the individual unit shall not exceed 3 bedrooms. And that any reduction in the number of total units will require administrative approval by the Director of Planning and Community Development.
Okay, is there a second on that motion, Lap?
I will second it.
Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Lap?
Aye.
Okay. Go get them, Paul.
All right, thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thanks,
Good
Sarkis.
evening.
If the planning board doesn't like it, though, let me know. Okay, we're going to take a 2-minute break before we do the next one, which is petition of Eunice Bonet, or Bonnet, for 28 Coburn Street. But let's take a quick break. Public hearing on Wednesday, June 10th, in the Bloomer Community Room of the Memorial Building, lower level, 150 Concord Street, Framingham, and/or via remote conference to consider petition of Eunice Bonet or Bonnet for any necessary approvals, findings, special permits, and/or variances, as may be required by the zoning board, Framingham zoning ordinance, in order to allow the proposed vertical extension of a lawful pre-existing, non-conforming accessory structure for the purpose of constructing an addition to a garage pursuant to section 435-4D2 regarding premises located at 28 Coburn Street, parcel ID 140632998, zoning district general residence G. Who do we have on behalf of the applicant? Come on up, introduce yourself, tell us what you're hoping to do, and we'll take it from there.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marcelo. The house is under my wife's name, Eunice Bonnet.
Yep.
And yeah, as you said, we proposed to do a vertical extension for a storage area right now. And I think that was it. So all the information you guys already have, and then,
So you're just taking your existing garage and
yeah, just
putting a second story on?
extend it, yeah.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Nothing major, nothing plumbing. We're gonna do some electrical there, but any installation, but no.
Okay, anybody have any questions or thoughts, concerns?
Is this an addition, or are you gonna demo the existing garage? And
No, we're just gonna remove the roof, maybe sister the existing ceiling joists or deck floor, extend the walls like 4 to 5 feet, because we cannot extend 23 feet, so we're gonna be 5 feet on the sides, that's the plan says. And the pitch, the roof pitch will be, supposed to be 12, but we're gonna find out by the time we're building it, because we cannot exceed 23 feet, so could be 10.
That answer your
Just
question?
cur-
Okay. Anybody else have any questions, concerns, thoughts?
Just a question, is, I don't see a stair in there. How are you gonna get to the second floor?
Stairs,
Second level?
it's there on the right, on the back, on the right, like in L shape.
Back in the right. I don't see it, but, I mean, I'm okay if you use a ladder. It's a, there's nothing on the plan that indicates the stairs, to tell you the truth, but.
Yeah, I don't see anything in the plans that has stairs from the first floor to the second floor?
I was just curious. I mean, not that it really matters. It's unconditioned space. There's no heat,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no heat, no water, no bathrooms.
it's a mezzanine storage
Just a
space,
mezzanine,
basically.
just to store all the stuff of accumulating.
More stuff.
More stuff.
I'm going through that right now. I'm trying to get rid of the stuff.
When you don't see it, you think it's not there, so just put it up there.
That just means you
Give me your
get more
address,
and
I
more
got some of
stuff.
my own stuff
Yeah,
I'll put
right.
up there. If you don't see it, it's not there.
Not there.
That just gives you an excuse to get more stuff. That's all.
All right. Any other questions from the board? Anybody in the audience has anything they want to add? Okay. Back to the board, is there a motion? The findings what we're looking for.
Go ahead,
I'd make a
Lab, this one's
motion.
on you.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, good luck, sir.
Thank you very much. You guys have a great night.
You too, thank you. All right, so here's the good news, everybody, that I hadn't shared before the meeting. We have no applications for the month of July. So
Great.
we won't see you until August.
I have a question. Hey, I think my term is up.
Same.
So you can
And,
stay on and continue in your spot unless somebody else is appointed in your place until
Well, the
they get
question-
around to getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so the question is, I did submit my application. I don't know if the mayor has gotten to it or is just too busy.
It would
I
be
don't
the
know.
citizen participation officer. So I
Yeah.
would coordinate with the staff in the planning office because they work
Yeah.
with Nicole, right?
Yep.
Sure,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can reach out to her.
Yeah. Yes, sir. There's public participation. Excellent.
I love that kind of participation. I'm a Clifford Street neighbor from this pending location, and that driveway and that garage is visual distance from my backyard. Neighbors, it's directly behind them.
From the Coburn Street
Yeah, we're on Clifford.
Okay,
and I'm
so we
talk-
already voted and closed that hearing.
I'm talking about that, I thought that garage was on Coburn Street.
The garage is on Coburn Street, yes.
Yes, but it's right behind all of our homes on Clifford Street.
Right, the time to have spoken up
So,
when we were asked for public participation.
well,
in that
that's why
application.
I know we're late and we're trying to figure out why something so big is going up behind our homes, and this is the first time any of us have heard about it. And it's just one of those things where you look out your back window, and right now I've got a backyard house that has a food truck parked in their driveway for almost 10 years, a tent with construction equipment for the same 10 years, and now next door where there's a garage, it's about to become almost a two-family home. And I'm just curious as to how that balances out in the neighborhood that it's in on Coburn Street with so many multifamily homes.
Well, so the applicant has left.
Yeah.
We've already voted on it, and it wouldn't be appropriate for us to have a public discussion on an application that,
No, I mean, I didn't know any sooner than this that I had a chance to hear what was going up, and I saw the drawings and what I thought was just going to be a,
well, that's fine, but you were sitting here when I asked for public participation, and you didn't speak up.
oh, I missed that part then, I'm sorry. And I thought I was listening pretty well. All right, I
So
will
you know,
resume my seat.
I hear you, and these would have been concerns I would have loved to hear
Yeah.
while that hearing was happening. That hearing is over, and as a matter of the open meeting law,
Yeah.
we shouldn't discuss something that's already closed and the applicant is gone.
Okay,
So-
my apologies.
And mine too, but.
Does that mean I can go home now?
Yes, it
Thank you,
does.
sorry about that.
That's okay, thank you. Okay, where were we? Anyone?
Motion to adjourn?
Oh, right, yeah, you can continue to serve in your position until either you get reappointed or somebody else gets appointed in your place, under our charter. So hopefully you'll just keep on coming back until the mayor's office gets, and the city council gets done what they have to get done,
All right.
please.
Perfect.
But you don't have to come in July.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah.
because Jackie is such a great gatekeeper. Okay,
All right.
any other discussion, thoughts, motions?
Motion to adjourn so I can watch the Knicks.
Okay. Is there a
Second.
second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Oh, wait, were there minutes? Were there
What?
minutes?
We did them already.
We did the minutes
Oh,
first.
Okay, that's right, yeah.
Yep. It was unanimous.
And unanimous, you're right, I voted yes.
Yes, you did vote, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
You were actually the one that wanted minutes at the beginning of the meeting.
yeah. That's why I stayed home.
All right, we'll see you in August.
All right.
Thank you. See ya.
All right,
Thanks, guys.
thank you.
Bye,
So
guys.
we're adjourned.